President Biden has used his State of the Union address to send a clear message to Israel that they must do their part to allow more aid into Gaza. The US president said protecting and saving innocent lives has to be the priority and that the only real solution is a two-state solution. He also confirmed the US plan to build a temporary pier on the Gaza coast to get humanitarian aid in.
I'm directing the US military to lead an emergency mission to establish a temporary pier in the Mediterranean on the coast of Gaza that can receive large shipments carrying food, water, medicine, and temporary shelters. No U.S. boots will be on the ground. A temporary pier will enable a massive increase in the amount of humanitarian assistance getting into Gaza every day. Humanitarian assistance cannot be a secondary consideration or a bargaining chip. Protecting and saving innocent lives has to be a priority. As we look to the future, the only real solution to the situation is a two-state solution over time.
Well, with his analysis of what the US president had to say, here's our correspondent Mark Stone.
He was full of energy. I mean, at times it felt like it was a campaign speech. And I think as the dust settles, I think many on the right will criticise him for that it was too much of a campaign speech, given that this forum is not supposed to be the place for electioneering. But I thought he was fluent. I thought he was energetic. There were jokes, but there was also a clear sense from him of what he believes the stakes are ahead for the United States. It was a moment, a speech where he needed to remind America of the successes of the past 4 years of Bidenism, successes that he sees, but honestly, many Americans don't see. In a powerful word for Israel, he said, Israel must do its part. Israel must allow more aid into Gaza. To the leadership of Israel, I say this: humanitarian assistance cannot be a secondary consideration or a bargaining chip. Protecting and saving innocent lives has to be a priority. So powerful language there. Perhaps the most powerful language we've heard from President Biden directed towards Gaza, certainly. But, you know, Nick, broadly, as I said at the start, certainly I don't think it's wrong to say that people close to President Biden, supporters of President Biden, were nervous about this moment. We're nervous that he could trip on his words, as he does sometimes. He could mix words up. Obviously, he's speaking on auto cue for all of this. But it was fluent. It was energetic. As I say, there was humour. But mixed in with that humour, a clear sense from him of what he believes are the stakes ahead, a fork in the road, two options for America. Another 4 years of Biden, another 4 years of what he says is continued growth of an economy that is doing well, of an economy that people will feel. And I think that's a struggle for him at the moment. The economy on paper is doing well, but people don't necessarily feel it's doing well. Their pockets feel emptier. Their groceries feel more expensive. These are the bread and butter, forgive the pun, but the bread and butter issues that he needs to persuade Americans on. And he really has got a challenge. And, you know, although this election campaign will be, to an extent, dominated by international issues, it is always the domestic things that dominate most. Those are the issues that worry everyday Americans.